All right, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Baseball Beach podcast. And today I am here with.
What's up, guys? It's Spreading the Love with Nate, or STLW Nate on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes, that's right. You're that right, people. Within the Joy Show, Dan and Leo. All right. So first off, for those of you who aren't aware of what you do, how would you describe who is Spreading the Love with Nate?
So who I am is just basically I'm a small content creator for now. But what I strive to focus on is just spreading the love as far as mental health goes, mental health and just sports in general. But I love baseball a lot, so I kind of gravitate a lot towards baseball. And I just focus on mental health, like I said, and why it means more than it should, and why it should be focused on a lot more, because I feel like it's not focused on enough. So it's my mission to just keep going with that, and just to see different outlets I can explore. But yeah, that's just basically who I am, and I kind of navigate my channel throughout storytelling as well. I talk in different struggles that they've had mentally, just to kind of inspire kids to show that they're human too. They're professional, but at the end of the day, they grew up the same way that we did. It's just they had a different path and where they were going as far as sports. So yeah, that's just basically who I am, and what I strive to do.
All right. I like you mentioned the mental health. Did you pretty much cover that other question, on why mental health? But that's a good example because you hear all the time with athletes how the mentality is a point. You hear Mamba mentality, etc. But they also have to
Yeah,
look at the
100%.
mental health game. I mean, think about it. There's amount of reasons why guys just go to they play for the Yankees and they're just broken down mentally. Even they get broken down at some point. I mean, I'm not sure if you saw Air
Yeah.
Jordan, but you saw that seed of how that broke down. Dan's a big fan of that movie, so yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't seen Air Jordan yet, but I know that you said, I mean, Yankees, there is so much pressure that comes with playing in New York, and I feel like a lot of people feel pressure. I mean, Sonny Gray and Joey Gallo, those guys are amazing right now, and I mean, they've been amazing their whole careers, and then as soon as they go to the Yankees, it just does not go well. I mean, Chapman too, he was really good other teams, and then comes to the Yankees and does exceptionally well, but over
yeah.
time, he just wasn't handling the pressure really well. So yeah, it's it's a lot of mental things that goes on inside of the game, and like I said, it's 90% mental in baseball, but anywhere else you go, it's going to be more mental than physical in any sport that you play.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, did you play? Now you go to school in Phoenix, GCU. What have you seen so far, in baseball in Phoenix? And I'm not sure if you've been in Phoenix. What you've seen?
Yeah, I mean, with GCU, we're kind of we're marketed as a basketball
That's
school
true.
because of our student section, and I guess we're one of the top student sections in the nation. But I feel like our baseball teams doesn't get focused on enough. So I mean, as far as baseball, I've seen a lot of good people come out of there. We're supposed to have a top 10 draft pick coming up in, I think, 2 weeks here
Ooh,
at the
yeah.
draft. Jacob Wilson, shortstop for Grand Canyon University.
Ooh,
Super cool, super great guy. I mean, I've got to
absolutely.
talk to him a couple times and just interview him and stuff like that. But as far as sports, I've seen a lot of good prospects come out of there. And Cody Bellinger out of Arizona, Chandler, Arizona. I mean, there's a couple other guys to name, but it
Yeah.
doesn't come off the top of my head right now. But yeah, just as far as baseball in Phoenix, it's a lot more competitive than you think. Being from SoCal, there's so many good guys that come out of SoCal, baseball wise.
Yeah.
It truly is a baseball state. But yeah, Arizona, there's so many good things to do out here, and obviously spring training has a mind of its own, and then the Diamondbacks are insane right now. They're doing it very well. So obviously there's a lot more fans coming out to that ballpark. So yeah, baseball in Phoenix is amazing, and I love coming out there and just seeing all the different talents that people have to offer. So yeah, it's been super fun.
Oh yeah, that's true. And in fairness to the now, if I were to compare it to San Diego, I'm not sure if you've been to San Diego at all. Have you?
Yeah, I've been to San Diego a plethora of times. I go
Okay.
there I go there to eat a lot. Old Town,
Oh,
San
Old
Diego is
Town. That's right. Oh,
my
you've definitely been to San Diego. That's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. It's my
Oh,
that's my favorite place to eat because my family and I love Mexican. We were Mexican, so we love to eat Mexican and all that kind of stuff, and just see all the old town,
Ooh,
right?
yeah. And I took a Chicano studies class too, and I found out like why so many things in San Diego are called missions, etc. So I was like,
Yeah,
big history
exactly.
there. So yeah, I definitely I say like compared to Sandy to Phoenix, like Phoenix definitely I knew Phoenix was a hot spot, and I knew because with my dad, like he lived in Arizona, he knew how big they are with the Wildcats, ASU, GCU, etc. And I'm like, I
Mm,
knew they got some talent over there for sure. I mean, I know I think a couple of years ago they went pretty far in Williamsport, and like
yeah,
and I remember compared to what I see here in San Diego, it's definitely like baseball community is definitely really strong. Like baseball is our primary sport. Like
yeah,
we're kind of like underrated in basketball. Like I mean, obviously with San Diego State's recent playoff decent run, like we are definitely making noise, but like we're kind of like there. Like I will say this: the football community died when the Chargers did left.
yeah,
It
100%.
died. It's not the same anymore. But like the baseball community is still here. Like it's strong and and compared to like the Phoenix, I definitely see it. Like I know when I went for that World Baseball Classic, I see how the difference was in that two World Baseball Classic tournaments versus here in San Diego, where we were like all casual and like pretty chill about it. While in Phoenix, yeah, they're 100% hard to decor on this. So I see that
Yeah.
energy. Like I know that's definitely an international tournament, but like I see the major difference compared to here in San Diego, where we're gonna have fun, we're gonna be casual about it. Versus here, we're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna be hardcore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So with that explained, what has been your favorite experience so far, like as a small content creator? Like since you're still just starting out, but yeah, what's your experience so far?
Yeah. I mean, it has to be hands down. Like when I was with Dan and Leo from Enjoy the Show Baseball. I had met them. I think just it was at a GCU game.
Oh
So
sick.
I obviously shot my shot, and I was just like, hey, like this is who I am, and I didn't even start yet, and so like I didn't start making content, and then they pushed me to do it, and I was like super cool. So yeah, I saw them at the GCU game, and then they came back a couple weeks later for that World Baseball Classic, and I had gotten a little bit of traction from there, like just from my friends at GCU. So when they came back out, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be at these games. Are you gonna be there? And they were like, yeah. So was able to interview them, and then I think the life-changing moment that I had and my favorite moment is when Leo he came up to me after the interview and was like, dude, like we appreciate you so much, and he was like, we want to have you at a content house that we're staying at. And I was like, what? Like this is so like I have 100 followers, like why am I getting invited to this house, so I think I always remember vividly like walking into that house and seeing all these creators. I mean, Danny Lee over there, obviously. And so, and I saw Trevor Fonstrom, who has about almost, I think, 500K on TikTok, which is insane. Like, big creator. Obviously, the Bat Boys, they're doing their thing right now. Like, just seeing those guys, I was just like, oh my goodness, And then Marika Lisick,
Oh
she's the
yeah.
first female college player. Like, just seeing her, that I was like, this is so weird. Like, what the heck? Like, I don't belong here. Like, I have 100 followers. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's easily my favorite moment as a content creator. I mean, I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 months now. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's been super fun. But I think what's also helped me like just have more fun with it too is uh, a lot of the guys on the basketball team at GCU, they're marketed heavily in our school, and they're kind of put on a pedestal. But for me, like I'm friends with a lot of them, and so I think how I became friends with them was just honestly just moral support, and then yeah, just like growing my name and just talking to them like as if they're normal people. A lot of people they look at them around campus and they just like don't say anything. And a lot of the players actually told me that they don't like that. Like they don't like being looked at.
Yeah.
So like as far as like being looked at and not saying anything. So yeah, but like back to your point, like I just love to like hang around them, and I think that's also been like one of my favorite moments is just like getting to hang around the team and like getting to talk to the players and create episodes with them as far as like interviewing them about mental health and all that kind of stuff. So
Ooh, nice. Yes, so definitely. I haven't been to Phoenix as much, and then, like obviously, like since you're going to GCU, like what would you describe like for those who haven't been there, like what they should check out? I mean, one thing I know for sure, it's a lot of space, and I'm like,
As far as like Phoenix or GCU?
or like probably like Phoenix as a whole. Since I'm sure you spend enough time around there. Like,
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Phoenix is, I think I have to put it above California. I'm sorry. Like I
wow,
love
that's a cold take.
I mean, it might be a hot take, it might be a cold take, you never know. But for me, like Phoenix is home. Like I just feel at home there. I feel peace there. I think just because of the community that's built at GCU. So I feel like at GCU it's kind of been able to like kind of spew out to Phoenix and other surrounding cities as well. I think what helps me a lot is like I think just church. I'm a Christian, so I go to church in Chandler, Arizona. I think what was it? It was Antioch. Antioch. It's like Antioch, Phoenix, but it's over in Chandler. But yeah, I think that aspect of Phoenix is just so amazing, and you get to build community. And I feel like yeah, like I said, Phoenix is home over there. Like the city it's not too big like LA, but it's not too small either. And so I feel like it just fits right, and it's expanding. It's ever growing, and
I've
so
noticed that.
so, yeah, there's a lot more people coming in. Like we're barely getting our first skyscraper, like our like first like technical skyscraper. Like we have a lot of buildings, but none are considered skyscrapers because they don't reach like the feet requirement or whatever it is. Anyway, but like we're like that's like to prove the point that we're growing, and so that's why I love Phoenix so much. Is just because like it's newer, it's fast, it's really really fast over there. Like you really got to be on your toes over there. Great sports teams. I mean, Suns, Diamondbacks. Who else? I think the Coyotes are out there. So
Yeah, the
yeah, I
Coyotes.
mean, like I said, like yeah,
Yeah.
like GCU too. I mean, GCU, it just feels like a bubble over there because we're a private campus, and so we're gated and stuff like that. Like you have to have ID to get in, and so yeah, just like the community over there, it just makes it feel like home because everyone's so loving and caring, and I think just the Christianity Foundation just helps a lot with that.
And I've also heard that like I know they're more they're slightly people in Arizona are slightly more invested to the college teams than they are with their sports teams, the professional ones. That's right here, right there.
Yeah, I mean, you have ASU and you have University of Arizona, which is kind of 2 hours down south from where we
Tucson,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, GCU is just up there with ASU and U of A. I mean, as far as like party life and all that stuff, we don't do that because we I think we have rules against that. It's like
Oh
Christian
yeah.
university and stuff like that. But people find a way around that, and it is what it is. But as far as like the loyalty standpoint and the fan base standpoint, like Arizona just blows anything out the water. I don't know. Obviously, I mean North Carolina is crazy with Duke and Wake Forest and all those kinds of like all those schools or whatever. But for me, just seeing it firsthand, like I feel like Arizona has a different power to it, rather than like a California school or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely within like for California schools for sure. Like I know, like I never gone to there, but like San Diego State, like yeah, they have big ones. UCLA, they have big ones. They like each campus has like their own party house in that sense. But like but like I'm not like that. But I definitely see it how like geez, like it's out there. Like people want to show up, even when they're still in high school. It's like whoa, like slow down, slow the brakes a little bit. But
Yeah,
yeah, they definitely
yeah.
go
I
to
mean, maybe because like we might not have a lot to do, like a ton. I mean, we have obviously a lot of like nature things, but as far as like California, there's so much to offer over here. So
yeah,
maybe that's why they're not gravitated towards their sports teams. But Arizona is just different because I think a lot of people are
yeah.
younger, so they want to go, support those younger teams.
And definitely like when I landed like in Phoenix, I mean, because obviously like most of the time we've driven to Tucson, San Diego to Tucson, not too far of a drive. But like I remember like landing like in Phoenix because that was just, like the first time I actually got to check out Phoenix after all the time going to Arizona. And I remember thinking, I'm like, first few minutes go through head, I'm like, where's the beach? Like I'm in the middle, I'm in the desert, I'm in the desert now. Like I'm used to the coastline. I'm
Yeah,
like, now I'm here in the desert. I'm like, where am I? But and I'm like, wow, I'm
yeah.
like, there's
No,
so
I
much
mean
space.
that's like I would say like that's the only flaw of Arizona is that it doesn't have a beach. But for me, I don't really like I don't love the beach, but obviously like you tolerate it once in a while when it gets hot over there. It's hot right now. It's going up to like 110s, and I think it's supposed to be like 120 next Saturday. So yeah, it's just been like it's insane. But yeah, that's like the only flaw is like Arizona doesn't have a beach. But it is what it is. They have a lot of lakes and rivers, so I guess we're good there.
Oh yes. Okay. And lastly, like how do you describe GCU basketball? Since obviously they're big there, and you got a couple of draft picks coming up. Like, how would you describe them?
Yeah. I mean, GCU basketball, I think is just on another level. I mean, like I said earlier, we have one of the best student sections in the nation. I think we're top 10. Like you can look it up and everything like that. Obviously, we're not beating out, the what is it? The not the Crawford Bucks, but Cameron and Dore. We're not beating, the Cameron Crazies at Duke, or we're not, beating out any other school like that. But we are in that like top 10 range, and I think just the ability to have a whole, student section and community come together and just back a team that that almost does not lose at home because we are so rowdy. Like it's just insane to see, and for me, like there's so much to do as far as like upcoming to the game. And so a couple of days before the game we actually camp out, like we actually camp, to in order to get a wristband to like get in first in the game because
Ah, you have to
the
do
the
that.
tailgates are so packed.
Dang, like I
Yeah, like I've definitely spent my cold nights out there on a mattress, and it hasn't been fun, especially in those winter months because basketball season's during the winter. Yeah, I'd be freezing in that 30-degree weather or whatever, but I stick it out because I love those boys. And so just and I think that's also how I built my connection with them too, is just standing in the front row like every single game because my friend and I we camp out before the games, or she does sometimes, and like, she'll help me out, or we kind of back each other up. But yeah, she'll camp out for us and she'll give us a wristband, and we get to get in first at the games, and then we stand front row and we support our boys, and like we go crazy for them, and just to have everyone behind you to like back them up, and just scream as loud as they can and have the band playing and see the dancers come out and cheerleaders and stuff like that. Like it's just it's a whole another level. And we also have spirit days too. So um, going out and dressing up for those spirit days, like my friend and I for USA night, like we did presidents, and we were the only ones that thought of that. Somehow we ended up on the news. Like the news came up to us, so like, hey, like we want to interview you and stuff like that. So yeah, just GCU basketball is unmatched, and they may not be the best in the country, but our student section and our loyalty towards that basketball team is going to be second to none, just because we have that foundation, and we have the
wow.
marketing and stuff like that too for it.
Yeah, geez. Like I didn't really, like I said, like I knew they were more into college sports, but like I think it'd be like that explain when they
Yeah,
ask you, like, not just showing your ID, you need a wristband to get here. I mean, I got to go to
yeah,
the
it's crazy.
yeah, I got to go to the Snapdragon Stadium. That's the new stadium that's built out here now with a Essex play. Like, I got to
Okay.
go over there for a game with a friend of mine, and like we were saying, like, let's just go sit in the student section. Like, we look like college students, so we can just get in. Sure enough, like
Yeah.
they didn't ask ID, no ticket or anything. They're like, "Yo, just sit right here." Everyone just sits at the whole entire game. I'm like,
Yeah.
so, but
Yeah,
yeah,
and
but
it's weird because they have like a whole like ticket site, and you have to go get your ticket, and sometimes they sell out. And so yeah, I mean, just like whenever they play on ESPN two, like everyone wants to be a part of that national television site. So that's when I think we have an arena capacity of like 7,400. There will be 7,600 students there, and like overpacking the stands and stuff like that. So there's definitely sometimes we don't get to move a lot, but because everyone's going crazy, like it's unmatched, like I said.
so yeah, definitely. So I think it's a good way to wrap it up right here. Do you want to list off your socials for people who know where to follow you?
Yeah, like I said earlier, it's spreading love with Nate, or if you're going to search on Instagram and TikTok, it's STLW and then NATE, so it's just STLW Nate. Yeah, you can find me on there, Instagram, TikTok. I'm starting a podcast soon on YouTube, which should be Spreading Love with Nate podcast, I think. So yeah, if you guys want to go support it, I would greatly appreciate it. And Shay, thank you for your time.
Oh yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming on. All right, I'm gonna. Ooh, my time's about to run out, but yeah. All right, see you later.
Oh yeah, yeah.